Hi, welcome to our Summit Park Market Update. I'm Ron Wilstein. I'm a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Properties Worldwide here in Park City, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this webinar. We're going to take a look at what has been happening in the Summit Park marketplace, and I'd just like to mention that I'm going to try to anticipate your questions throughout this presentation, but if something comes to mind that I haven't covered, just jot it down, and if I don't cover it by the end of the presentation, send me an email to ron@thewilsteinteam.com, and I'll be happy to address your question. If you would like a phone call from me, include your phone number, perhaps the best time to call, and I'll be happy to get back in touch with you. Anyway, with that in mind, let's jump right into our presentation. I want to give you an overview of what's been happening in the Park City marketplace before we look at Summit Park in particular. Over the past year, we have had 1,397 sales in Park City, and this is homes, condominiums, and vacant land combined. So it's all real estate brokerages combined, and that is up 12% or 152 sales from the year before. When we break it down, this graph here shows us exactly where we saw the increase in the sales. Homes, for instance, rose by 7%, climbing from 531 sales to 569 sales. This is that period from April of 2013 all the way to the end of March 2014, that 12-month period. The numbers represented in the blue here are the previous year for that same 12-month period. Condominium sales also rose by 15%, from 539 sales to 621, and then lots saw the greatest number of increases, from 175 sales to 207 sales over the last 12-month period. But what's been happening with prices? When we look at prices, we're going to look at properties both within the Park City city limits as well as the Snyderville Basin, which is the county areas. We're going to look at that same 12-month period from April 2013 through to March 2014. And you can see that within the city limits, the prices have risen by 14%, which is really nice. The median home sold price in the Park City limits is $1,100,000. That rose to $1,250,000. Nice increase there. We also saw 11% increase in properties in the Snyderville Basin, climbing from a median sold price of $642,500 all the way up to $713,000. We now turn to condominiums, and condominiums within the city limits was pretty much flat, less than 1% decrease this past year, which you can see from the numbers is only $500. The median price was $490,000. This year, $489,500. For all intent and purposes, pretty flat. But where we saw the increase were in condominiums in the Snyderville Basin. They rose in value 24%, from a median price of $270,750 all the way up to $335,000. Now when we turn to lots, the vacant land actually did the very best. In the Park City limits, values rose by 31%, the median price climbing from $515,000 to $677,000, and 30% increase in the Snyderville Basin from $239,000 to $310,000. So very, very positive in terms of land values. Now this graph here is an important one because this shows the history in Park City from the very height of the market, which was in 2005. You can see that we had 2,912 sales that year. Again, this is homes, condominiums, and vacant land within the Park City area, both city and county. That's the height of the market. Then the recession hit, then the mortgage crisis hit, and we had 4 consecutive years of decline, year over year over year over year. That altogether was a 77% decrease in the number of sales. Pretty significant. Then the market changed in 2010, and you can see we've got 4 consecutive years of steady increases, and that's where our Park City market is right now. Very strong, steady increases. Now let's turn our attention to Summit Park. Home sales in Summit Park are up 15% over last year's number of sales. Here this graph shows us that the year before we had 26 sales, now we've got 30, that's 15% increase. Summit Park has been selling homes at a pace of one sale every 12 days. Now that's very positive. That's less than one every 2 weeks. And currently there are 12 homes on the market in Summit Park, which equates to a 5-month inventory. Now, where does this compare with the national statistics? The National Association of Realtors says that a balanced market, an equal balance between buyers and sellers, is about a 6-month inventory. In resort marketplaces like Park City, a balanced market is typically a 9-month inventory. So at 5%, we're on a very, very positive pace, definitely favoring sellers. It's a seller's market now. Selling prices have ranged for homes between anywhere from a low of $139,900 in Summit Park all the way up to $669,000, bringing us a median sold price of $439,500. That incidentally is up 9% from the previous year, where the median price was $405,000. So values are climbing in Summit Park. When we turn to lot sales, they're actually up 100% from the year before. And let's see what that consists of. Well, we had 9 lot sales the year before. Now we have 18. And that's an indicator that our market is drying up in terms of available properties. Buyers are turning to land in order to build the home that they couldn't otherwise find in existence. So the lot market is strengthening. In Summit Park, it's strengthening, and so we're going to see a lot of new construction within that neighborhood. Lots are selling at a pace of one sale every 20 days, so roughly one every 3 weeks. The current inventory of lots is 15 lots on the market, giving us about a 10-month inventory. Now, we're doing this webinar here in April 2014. We're moving into the summer months, and that is when we see the greatest number of lot sales. So while we have a 10-month inventory, perhaps it might be a little bit less because of the time of year. Vacant land prices in Summit Park have ranged from $27,800 all the way up to $121,000. But the median price, which is a better representation than that high-end $121,000, median sold price is $54,950, which incidentally is up 19% from the previous year's value. So it's nice to see it climb from about $46,000 all the way to $54,950. Now, if you're interested in receiving a printout of the homes and the lots that I've just covered in this webinar, all you have to do is send me an email to ron@thewillsteinteam.com. Say, I watched the webinar, please send me a printout of the homes and lots in Summit Park, and I'll get that off to you immediately. I now want to share with you how you can get this information on the Summit Park market whenever you wish. Typically, we do these webinars for Summit Park about every 6 months. We post them on our website, but you can get this information anytime that you want. Simply go to our website, BuyParkCityRealEstate.com, and add /Summit Park. You can also go to thewillsteinteam.com /Summit Park, and it will take you to our website and specifically to the page dealing with Summit Park. If you went there, you would see this. And what we have here is we have a section on Summit Park, and I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. You have a couple choices here. You can watch a webinar for an update, which is in fact what you're doing right now. You can request that information on sales data be sent to you, and all you have to do is click on that. I'll show you that in a moment. Or you can search for homes within the area or condominiums. We don't have a lot of condominiums in Summit Park, but if you want to search them, you would do it that way. And if you go a little bit lower, automatically you'll get a search of the listings in Summit Park. Now this includes homes and lots, so there's a total of 24 properties, as I mentioned, 12 of each. And you see lots of properties here. They're in price order, but you can adjust that. So it starts at $710,000 and works its way down. And all you do is you select one of the properties, either put your cursor over the picture or the address or the view listing. If you click it, it will immediately take you to the property, and there you go. You've got details on the price, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, when it was built, and a description of the property, and it starts automatically scrolling through pictures of it so that you can appreciate what it looks like both inside and out. You can take your cursor and inquire about the property by clicking that button, or even request a showing. You can add it to a list of favorites if you were looking for properties in a certain marketplace. And if you scroll down further on this page, you'll get additional details about the property, and very, very helpful. When you get to the very bottom, if you want, you can request a showing or ask for information about the property. Just type in your name and your email address, and we'll get you that information. What's nice about the website is you've got these tabs higher up, and let's say if you go to the bird's eye view, it will take you up into the air, and you'll suddenly be looking down at the property, and there it is. And you can see exactly what's around the property, and it's a real nice point of reference. There's also map features and directions if you were interested in that. And so lots of good information here about any property that you search for on our website. Now, going back to that earlier page on Summit Park, if you simply want sales data on closed sales, pending sales, then click the blue button. If you click this, this would take you to the simple fill-in form, and all you do is put your name, address, email. That's all we need. You can add your mailing address if you want. It's optional. If you're interested in getting our newsletter, we do mail it out, and that would be helpful if we don't already have it. And then go down to the inquiry criteria. Under subdivision, you might type in Summit Park, and if you're a buyer or a seller, you can choose. If you're a property owner curious about values, then you'd probably pick seller, and put any questions or anything that you want, and then just go down to the submit button. And if you do that, I'll get the email and we'll get that information to you right away. So you can pick up the phone, or you can fill out these forms, whatever you prefer. So finally, let me just say that if you're interested in finding out how much your property in Summit Park is worth, shoot me an email, ron@thewilsteinteam.com. Let me know that, and I'll be happy to contact you, take a look at it, and provide you with that information. No cost, no obligation. Just our goal to keep you informed about values in Park City. As I wrap up now, I just want to mention that every month we do a webinar called Park City Market Talk, and we cover a lot of the details on the overview of the marketplace like we did in this webinar, but we'll also discuss different topics that are on everybody's mind, whether it's about the resorts or the city overall, or whatever. Whatever we get a lot of questions about, we tend to cover in our webinars. So feel free to check that out. If you want a reminder about our webinar, we're happy to give you that reminder. And if you want to go to previous ones we've done, they're all in our archive. So with that in mind, thank you for joining me for this webinar, and have a great spring and summer season. Bye-bye.